You are watching the biggest, the largest, the highest, the greatest, and the tallest African spiritual platform. I'm Queen Hadasha, call me Empress Makida. I am Labraska, the Sun Goddess. Call me the true bloodline. My names, sometimes they bother me. Hey, I mean you can cancel levy. It's not easy, but his yoke is lighter. I welcome you people with love, 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 love. We love and hate. Hate is another episode, it's another day. I welcome you once again. Today is a great day because topic na ekwa discussing visual narratives of power. How images are used to police us as people, as Africans, as blacks. Name them anyhow you want to put it. This is what we are going to discuss. Such a huge topic. Let's welcome our guest for today. Papa, we welcome you to Revelations.
Thank you.
Welcome. Papa, today is your first day on this big platform.
Yeah.
Please, we want you to pay obeisance to the followers and the subscribers. Say hello to them. Introduce yourself to them before we come to your topic.
Hello, my name is AMARKAI, AMARTEFIO. I'm an artist, a poet, and a sculptor, and I also write. This is what I've been doing for over 40 years now.
We welcome you.
Thank you.
An artist.
Yes, I paint.
We know you.
Yeah.
We know you, right?
Okay.
We know you.
Mm-hmm.
Ghanaians know you, right?
Yes, they do.
Give us a bit of your background, how we know you.
Many people know me as an artist, that is a painter. I hold exhibitions both in the country and out of the country. And then in between exhibitions, I also write on, I write on social issues, politics, religion, name it, things like that. And then I also write poetry. I have poetry on almost every subject, on love, romance, sex. I have a poetry on the vagina. I met a lady who was on the show, talked about vagina, and I watched the vagina monologue many years ago at the conference center. And as a result of that, I wrote a poem on the vagina. I write on spirituality. I have poems on spirituality, on consciousness, almost any and every subject that, that I fancy.
That you fancy?
Yeah.
I fancy spirituality.
Yes.
I fancy vagina.
Yes.
And I fancy love.
Yeah.
So give me a bit of your poem. Us, all of us, we want to know about the vagina first.
I am often loved, but sometimes hated, occasionally starved or lowly rated, and simply tolerated. I may be torn, but never worn. I may be bruised. I may be ignored. I have been called names, even by fellow dames. And all the men say I am a whole, but without me, they aren't whole. Although I have lips, I am reluctantly kissed. If ever at all, I am talked about often in whispers, as though I am contagion. I am not allowed even to think aloud about the light of day, or even directly see the world, except for brief moments, especially in my childhood. I am often held in fabric prisons against my wishes, and my mouth is monthly stuffed with layers of cotton, as if I am rotten. And the air I breathe is often filtered, and my identity often obscured with semantic niceties and bloody euphemisms. But I am here, still pulsating through years of pounding, alive and red, and ever resistant, resilient. I am vagina. I am not like China that easily break beyond repair, or simple tissues that easily impair, or faint-hearted that I easily despair. I am sensual and divine, spirit and flesh, profound and profane, goddess and goodness, all in a woman, temple gate, through which all angels all incarnate. I am vagina, way to nirvana. I am not like China, so easily replaced. I may be tiny, as though I am puny, but I am tough, and I have enough cellular backup to open wide to take all of you
Hey.
and to accommodate all your passions, love they be or lust they be, all of them are tested here.
I am
Thank
vagina.
you. I am vagina.
Hey, you are watching the big. So vagina wants to be walking around without clothes. No, tell me, does it want to walk around without clothes?
It's a figure of speech to say that people are shy to flaunt the vagina.
Does it want to be flaunted?
That's where we came from. Why should we be ashamed of it? Why should we be hiding it? Hey.
We have no brazier day. Very soon I will make sure no panty day. You are watching the biggest and the largest. This is serious. Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
The most important portals. We don't have any education about it.
No, at all.
Mentioning it is a problem.
It's a taboo.
So putting cotton there too is the parts. It's a problem for it. Oh my goodness. If it should obey nipa no wa no kobeka sa o. Oh God.
Yeah.
I believe you. Do you have a book for this?
It's coming up soon.
Oh, please do so.
Yeah.
Do so. Do so. And then spirituality, let me hear. I'm interested.
Okay, I have a poem on awakening. But for the greatest love I would not have known, I have been dead since my birth. And although I feel blessed and alive, the soul agents don't think I'm smart till they fart in my heart to make me know the soul within me is not the original. To all the caring soul agents whose stock in trade is life, who fail not, but daily sell or rent life to us, lest we choke on our own breath and die, and lose our way without our path, walking our path, who neither rest nor slumber, but go every length in love and care to impart life for both here and the hereafter, with tons of rituals and manuals carefully managed and well packaged as guidance for our short stay. To all of you soul agents who compete with each other to be the soul agents of our souls, I say I've had it. I am tired of choking on your love and goodness. My life has died enough from being on your life support. To all the soul agents who want to save our souls, who map out the course of our souls and tell us with great insight what lives we were meant to live, and make plain what will happen to us if we dare understand our lives without their permission, making us rehearse the proper order in which our nostrils must inhale and exhale the breath of life, so we remain on their narrow path and stray not out of their Eden's reach, while with veiled sophistries and life support industries they set up word ministries that turn our minds into playgrounds of confusing beliefs. To tell to all of you, I say I have had it. I am tired of your empowerment lifelines. From this day, I am on my own. I have more than enough in me to rise and wise up from the death you have been taking my life through. You want to show me the way, but I already found my way without you. Can you heal yourself of the kind of mind that makes you believe I couldn't have known or found my way till you have stressed me with your revelations?
I am consciousness. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So who is he talking to? Christians?
He's talking
hospitals,
to all the soul agents. He's talking to all the people who think it is they have found the right way to live, and it is their duty to tell bodies. All of us that, hey, I have found the right way to live. You have been living wrong all this time until I found it. Come, I'll show you the way.
All the religious
exactly.
bodies.
Yeah.
Love.
This one, I call it between wine and conscience.
Okay.
My conscience is too fine, but I wish I'd had some wine that will make me think you are mine. Then away beyond the clouds, 7, 8, and 9, our lust and love divine will mix and merge in line. Our souls and flesh align, and sip this liquid love that deep within us brews. I know that will make the news, but we won't let that bruise. Our love will have the clues that regard less the views that those not in our shoes have felt about the rules.
You are watching the biggest. This is the randoms. Hey, since when did you start writing these things?
Oh, I've been writing. This particular one I wrote in 2016. This last.
So you've been writing since you were single and young?
Yeah, I've been writing all my
life. And the girls need it. Hey, these are things girls, women want to hear. These are things women want to hear. They need a drama, no? They are so na baby. You are watching the biggest. Hey, this is randoms for you. This randoms, you can cut it and paste it. You can be cutting it and be playing it in your room. When you feel, say, your thing has lost weight, just play it. Whether cotton or not, it's still heaven for men. You are watching the biggest. Okay, so we are going straight into the topic. The topic is visual narratives of power. How images are used to police us. So please take us through your topic.
All right. My topic basically has to do with, all of us live in an environment where we see pictures. Through our school system, our books are illustrated, book covers, fashion magazines, films, and everywhere. We live in a world filled with pictures. And much as we enjoy pictures, pictures are a psychological tool for the manipulation of people. And most people do not realize this. And when it comes to pictures or images, you don't need to be literate. You don't need to have gone to school before. You don't need to be able to read or write before pictures can have effect on you. So they cut across. It is the first thing we are exposed to the moment we arrive here. We see the world in pictures and we respond to them. But then what we don't realize is that there are people who produce these pictures. They produce these and they distribute these pictures, which means that in the production of images, there are some images that are withheld. There are some images that are circulated. And it is all for the reason of controlling how we see this world. We are confronted with a reality from which to make meaning of. We have no choice but to make meaning of this world and our experiences. And those who control the images that circulate within society always control what we make, control the meaning we make out of our lives. And the more they recruit us to control, the more they recruit us in terms of the meaning we make of life, the more they can pull our strings, our life strings. Take, for example, the image of a Caucasian Jesus. We are a black people. Our gods, the image of the God we worship comes from Hollywood. He's a Caucasian from Hollywood. Meanwhile, if you read the Bible, you read about the place where Jesus Christ comes from. The people are not Caucasians. We are aware of this. We know that Jesus Christ is not a white person. When we read the Bible, where he comes from, they are not white people. You understand? But if you go to most Ghanaian homes or offices, you find the image of a white Jesus in their homes, in their churches, where these days they have removed him, from the churches.
They are there. It's still there. My mother has one.
Okay. But in our rooms, in our offices, on calendars, behind the trotros, we see white Jesus. We know definitely that this is wrong, but we are stuck with it. And it is because images have the power. Images are like viruses. Once you are exposed to them, they live inside you. The images live inside you. They control the way you see. They control the meaning you give to what you see. So once they are there and they are stuck, it's very difficult, nearly impossible to change them. And so this is how many people who have sought to control groups of people have used images. We can talk about like colonialism. Colonialism started when Europeans came to Africa, and they straight away, the first thing they did was to reclassify the world in which we lived. They had to recreate the world in which we live with images. All images they found here were classified as fetish, first as idols, second as fetish, and thirdly as totems. Images that we held dear, they classified them as idols. Meanwhile, you never go to Europe or any other white country and find any image called an idol. Theirs were gods. You understand? Ours were demeaned and called called idols, fetishes, and then totems. Very derogatory. And then, when they did this, it was to educate us away from these things, from our culture, and into a white, like a white world, where all the images that are proper for us were brought in to replace our indigenous images. So they controlled the meaning we had of the images we have here and replaced it with their images. It was a way of policing, you know, like policing our visual consciousness back, into their world, so that we were...
They are gone, but they are not gone.
Exactly. So this is how, this is basically the power of images. They affect us, whether we like it or not. We think in our images. We think in images. We imagine whenever we are going to make choices. When we go shopping, whatever, whether you are in the shop or
the packaging.
The packaging and everything, it's all about images. And when you see a package which you have seen before, you compare whatever you see with what you have seen before. So these images end up creating a mental model or a visual model against which we assess or determine the meaning we give things around us or the choices we make. This is, and if, for example, you are a foreigner and you come to Ghana, you first, and you look at all the billboards around you, all the posters and all the banners and the huge billboards and everything, straight away you know the kind of people we are. Because the images we display about our life here tell other people who we are. Straight away, we sell ourselves through the images we portray. You understand? So images are very, very important. And those who know how their power can control how we see. There's a phenomenon called agnotology. That is a deliberate intention to make a population ignorant. You understand? It is the opposite of epistemology. Epistemology means knowledge. Agnotology means ignorance, the cultural production of ignorance. So the way we see can be conditioned. Take, for example, whenever we have elections. Take all the talk and everything, it is the images. It is the image, huge billboards of presidential candidates, of parliamentary candidates, of government projects and things like that. I remember very well, during the last elections, we have projects that are on paper. We have projects government intended to do, but which is on paper. They will do an artist's impression of it and put it on the site, so that everybody will say, this is what the government is doing. You understand? Meanwhile, these are images. They are not real stuff.
Oh!
They are not real stuff. And this shows the power of images. This shows the power of images.
I've seen one before. When an MP printed a hospital, and then there was no hospital, and she came to inaugurate it.
There you go.
At my area, and some people went after. She posted a huge billboard. Yeah. Saying that this is the clinic she's built for us.
Exactly.
And we didn't have anybody, and people went after her.
Exactly. I saw the one for the La General Hospital. It was put right there in front, and artist's impression, or yeah. And it goes,
But let me ask this. Is this is it just the picture, or it has some energy behind it? Ooh. Because if it's just the picture, then you print Kwame Nkrumah in the name of Jesus.
I know. Well, images are also messages left for people to read. You understand? For people who cannot read and write, images tell stories. And that is why even in medieval times, the church will employ artists to paint Bible stories, huge panels, so that people who cannot read the Bible will see the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, will see Jesus Christ
Apostle
feeding,
and the creed.
Apostle
someone
and all
lying down,
things.
someone stepping on,
precisely.
the devil jumping. Oh.
So these are what images do to us. They bring abstract phenomenon real. They bring things to life for us, because human beings think in pictures. We think in pictures. We imagine everything in pictures and color. That's how our minds work. And images are able to, like, I can propound a lot of theories and things like that. But when you see all that I'm saying in images, they convince you more.
They convince you more.
They bypass your critical faculties.
You are watching The Biggest. This is what the icons does. They give you a cinematic world. Now the hona nyamani na.
Exactly.
Now why a joker? Brain damage pani.
And now with AI, it's even taken to another level. AI has taken it to another level. AI can create images of things that has never happened. They can take your face and create you in scenarios and put you in places you have never stepped before. You understand? For example, now when you put something on social media, there are people who will tell you that, oh, this is fake news. This is fake news. But think about it. Films of Jesus Christ, or Christian films that we have watched of Jesus Christ resurrecting and going into the clouds, is it real or fake news? You understand what I'm saying?
Not available.
Yes. At the time that we were shown these pictures or these films, we said, oh yeah, this is real. This is real. As we see in the Bible. You understand? But today, we know that it is all film tricks.
Yeah, sharp.
It's all film tricks that were used to bring the Bible stories alive to us. AI is doing just the same thing. You understand? AI is doing the same thing, and we even, it does it so perfectly, we can't even tell whether it's fake or not. You understand? It takes the experts to realize that this is fake. You understand? But at the time that we were shown most of these films, you understand, somebody going up in the clouds.
You can't ask questions.
You can't ask questions.
So your mind cannot even comprehend.
Your mind cannot comprehend. You understand? So you take it as the truth. And this is what is influencing a lot of faith. They use film tricks to induce faith in most of these Jewish Anansi stories.
Hey.
Of course.
Jewish Anansi stories.
Of course.
Hey, Papa.
Of course they are. They are Jewish fables. Ever since you were born, have you seen anybody walk on water and not drop before?
I saw Jesus.
You saw Jesus in a film, in real life, or in the film?
I met him.
You met him where?
Yes.
You see, this is, let me give you a practical story. I have a friend who came to my house about 20 years ago, and I have this beautiful landscape with a sunset and everything. And the first time she saw it, she said, AMARKAI, I love this painting. I loved it. So I took pictures of her and everything. Just last week, she came to my house. I moved to my new place here. She came over there and she said, where is that painting? AMARKAI, where is that painting? I said, oh, that painting is over there. So where is the river? Where are the swans? I said, no, it's never had any river. It never had any swans. Guess what happened? The first time she saw this painting, it triggered her imagination. She went off on a tangent and got lost in that picture and created her own this thing. Years on, that picture has stuck. When she saw that painting again, she said, where are the rivers? Where are the swans? I said, it never had it. It was your imagination. This is how pictures are able to make us create our reality.
Power of conscience.
Exactly. You understand? So imagine when all these pictures were shown to us as children. It fired our imagination. It brought these Anansi stories so much alive to us.
It registered itself in our brain.
In our brain forever. So it is very difficult and nearly impossible as an adult to talk to somebody to get them out of this childish fantasy or dream.
Oh, you are watching the biggest. So our childhood tantrums has become our adulthood trauma.
Yeah, so I mean, I can cite so many examples. Take the Ghanaian CD, right? You find images of 6 people on it. They are all men, presenting a male narrative to our independence story. It is not true.
Oh,
there were women who took part in the independence struggle. There's so much literature to point to the fact that women took part in our independence struggle. But you see, the human mind responds more to images than to literature, written text. As long as there are no images shown of these women who contributed to our independence struggle, people will read all they can read about the evidence of women's participation.
They don't see it every day.
They don't see it every day. So the male narrative that we find on our CD will continue to gain currency.
Now, let's get into questions about everything you have said.
Yeah.
The pictures hovering around, or the pictures dealing with us, let me put it that way. When you calculate it or divide it, how many percentage that we have that is good and is helping us, and how many percentage that you think is bad, or we don't have anything good in it at all?
Oh, some are good, some are bad, and especially the images of people we have, especially during election time, it's all propaganda, mostly propaganda. Mostly propaganda. Things have been exaggerated. Things that are not there have been put there, and artists have given impressions about them. And many for the illiterate people, and even for the literate people, they take these things for real, or they take these things as things that are being done. You understand? Things that are being done, and not things that have been done. There's a difference between what is there that you can go and feel and touch, and you understand? And there's a difference between that, and there's a difference between what I have in mind to do. Good intentions are not proof of real things. They are just evidence of good intentions. You can't go to an intended hospital. You can't go to an intended school. You go to a built school. You go to a built hospital. So as for good intentions, an artist can portray all that in images, and it can be put all around. But the smart person will know
the use of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, the paper. No.
Aha. So that is the thing. So there's a lot of propaganda in the media, and it is deliberate. It is deliberate. It is deliberate. Some of these images are also like images of men of God holding clutches and things like that, and healing people and all that. Go to the hospitals and do it, and let us see it. Go to the hospitals.
Reality.
Exactly. Go to the mental institutions and do it.
Real, for us to know.
Feely.
Don't call us to come. You know where sick people are.
Exactly.
Are you calling us?
Go to the sick, where the sick people are, and clear all the hospital beds. Then we'll know that, yes, what you are, the product, the promise matches the product.
Exactly.
Other than that, it's all a hype.
Oh.
It's all a hype. It's all a hype. Take NAM1. NAM1 use images. Take the recent one, what's it?
Cheddar.
Yes, all images. NAM1 use images of prominent people. You see him with the
celebrities.
You see him with this person. You see him with the president. These are all images. They are all optics. They are all optics. And we all fall for it.
But come to think of it.
Yeah.
If somebody should, seriously, someone has printed something that is, I will talk to my manager first. What, seriously, how about this picture? If I have not visited you and I've painted a picture with me and you, and it's mounted huge by the roadside, they can't do anything about it. Or they intentionally visit them so they can have a picture to do that.
It's called photo opportunity.
Photo opportunity.
Exactly. For propaganda purposes.
Imagine
me telling you that I had a dream and Jesus came to visit me at home and things like that. And I use AI. I use AI to to make images of Jesus sitting by me and things like that. And I take it to the villages and or make a film out of it. Or make a video out of it, put it on social media. It's going to straight away sell my spirituality. It's going to sell me as a...
I have to consider this.
So, when it comes to images, we can, we deceive ourselves through images.
Ampao.
We deceive ourselves.
Even our own pictures, we don't like it anymore unless it's been edited.
Edited.
And I see myself like...
Yeah, to the point where people who know you in real life see you and say, oh,
they pass by.
They say, oh, this lady looks like
Maame Grace, but it's not
exactly.
Her.
Even your own mother cannot recognize you sometimes.
Hey.
Sometimes it's like that.
Really?
Yeah.
You are watching The Biggest. This serious, so
yes.
How bad is this destroying Africans and how good is this helping Africans?
Well, it is very bad for Africa because when it comes to on the international scene, things like problems like poverty has been feminized. It has also been Africanized. Take any United Nations or most United Nations or donor agency magazine or documentary talking about problems of poverty and things. Take all the images. They are images of black people. Meanwhile, there are places in Europe that are worse than Africa.
Exactly.
You understand? So Africans have to, deconstruct these visual images. Because if you go back into history, there's a story of Sarah Batman, the
woman with the big butts
exactly.
that they turn into prostitutes and
yes. They used to exhibit her like an exhibition. They used to have exhibitions. People pay money to go
even
and
when
look at
she
her.
died.
Yes, even when she died. You understand? So it has always been done. Images, if you want to colonize a people, if you want to look at the Gulf War. The Gulf War started with propaganda images. That Saddam Hussein was this, he was this, they painted him, all that. It was through images on CNN and everywhere. Images, propaganda images. I always tell people that images can be used to start wars or end wars or mobilize sentiments, hatred or love and things like against groups of people. There was a cartoon of Iranians as depicted as cockroaches. You understand? And it sparked another whole international, you understand? So images are extremely powerful, and it is because the human mind is
comprehend.
Yes. It bypasses all our critical faculties because images are also messages. Images are messages. Let's say, for example, you are driving and then you hear a police motor rider blowing his siren at you, and you are looking back and you know he's coming for you. This is how images work. That is exactly how images work. Images are put up to come after you and to compel you to change your behavior, whether positively or negative, or to make a decision, whether positively or negatively. In the 70s, there used to be this popular picture of Jesus Christ. And it's like, it was made in such a way that wherever you turned, he was looking at you. For from every direction, he had his eye on you.
This woman paintings to, what's the name? I've forgotten. This black woman now, they've turned white. It's in Paris.
Okay.
When you look at it, wherever you go, it turns.
Exactly. Yes. So
what? Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. Yeah. Well, I saw the Mona Lisa. By the way, it's all a hype. I saw the Mona Lisa. I was in the Louvre, and then I stood before the Mona Lisa, and it was like, oh, so is that all? I asked myself, is that all?
Oh, but we pay to go and look.
I know. Well, that is the hype. That is the hype before you confront the reality. By that time, goods bought cannot be returned.
Exactly. Now, let's break the conversation down.
Okay.
Looking at pick some 5 or 6 images in Ghana. I am starting from the head of those people on the money, because I'm hitting them, because that's what every soul in this country look at least 1 or 2 times
every day.
Every day.
Rich and poor.
So let's pick some pictures that you think, when you pick the CD, the pictures that you think as an artist, it paints into the heads of the Ghanaians. And if we should change it, what you think it should be there, that will paint a positive or whether it's negative or
a true
like
picture,
give me
a true reflection.
Give me the double face.
Yes.
Pick 5 things. I have picked the money.
Okay.
So pick other things.
Well,
start from the money and continue.
Well, there is a story of Hannah Kujo, who was one of the people who worked so hard to for our independence. There's a story of Dede Ashikishan, who was very close to Kwame Nkrumah. I mean, we some time ago we put her on the 5 cities, I think the 70s or 80s. And there is my own relative AMARTEFIO, Mrs. AMARTEFIO, who was also one of them. Plus many ordinary people, you know, many ordinary market women and ordinary school teachers and things like that who lent their support. They have not been given the prominent place as these men have. And it is simply because we are a very patriarchal society. Women are often erased out of the story. You can work hard as a woman, but since you are not a man, we are sorry.
Who even came to change this law that now women are buying lands and building houses? Is it not Ajima Konedu?
Yes, Konedu.
Before a woman was not supposed to buy a land. You don't have that right to buy a land or build.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of these, if not her, I don't know.
It has been a law in most African countries.
One of them is either Ajima Konedu, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected. Wouldn't be natural comment section. One of these women came to change. I think it's Ajima Konedu.
What I remember Konedu Ajima Rawlings did was when there was the advocacy for more women intake at the universities, then she said, okay, you are taking more women. Where are they going to live? All the halls are male halls. So I was in Queen's Hall. It was the only mixed hall. So through her intervention, all the other halls were made mixed halls. Like Indies became mixed, Report became mixed. Katanga and Unity resisted, but I think now they have given in. So it was through her advocacy that these traditional male halls were turned into mixed halls, so that we can.
But these things, when you say them, when you try to put what people have done there, the main reason why we are not able to put people picture at the right places is also because of politics.
Precisely.
When this Ajima Konedu matter that I'm saying, me, I have nothing to do with politics. But if I say, Mommy, we appreciate you, because I think she is the one.
Yeah.
I will find out. But if you know right, she is the reason why women can buy lands and build in Ghana.
Exactly.
But if you say this right now and decide to paint this picture, you are an NDC.
I know.
Wahala.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate politics has really, taken away from our patriotism and our commitment to the truth. You understand? In the name of politics, we say things that
simple things are not simple because of politics.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So the money, that's the money.
The other one that's it's very important, serious for me, is the African map. When we were in school, all of us were made to draw the African map with all the different countries and things like that. Now we know that map, the borders that separate Ghana from Burkina, from this thing, were all made in Europe. It was the Berlin Colonial Conference that they divided us all. We were taught to draw this map in school. We are used to that image. Years afterwards, we know that these borders were made to diminish our economic growth and to frustrate our integration as one people. We know this, we know this, but because the image has stuck, we find it very difficult to change it.
I know they ain't changing to
because the image that comes with the different flags, the different color flags and things like that, has stuck.
You feel you are different.
Exactly. So, though you know that this thing is inimical for the growth of the African continent, you find it difficult to change.
The people themselves.
This is the power of images.
Oh my God.
This is the power of images.
That is 2. You are giving us 5.
It has stuck. What else can I think about? But, you know, the principle is here that, I mean, I'll leave viewers to think along, I mean, in their own, within their own context, to think about this within their own context. They should look into their lives and their life circumstances and see how images are influencing them against their best wishes, how they are being controlled by images, you know, to change, and especially images that are of white people, or that glorify the achievement of other people as against our own people. I mean, for example, if you take all our great men and women, all our great men and women are made by the West. On our own, we are very reluctant or incapable, or we are not ready to add value to the great achievements of our own people.
Self-hate.
Exactly. Chimamanda had to be made by the West. Kwame Nkrumah had to be made by the West. I mean, Nelson Mandela had to be made by the West. Wole Soyinka. I mean, other people will have to give him an award or recognize him before to say, yeah, he comes from here.
We refuse to make our heroes.
We refuse to make our heroes. You understand? And all this, I remember very well, back in the day, when Kwame Nkrumah's, I mean, there was this argument of putting Kwame Nkrumah's face on the CD. Other people said, no, no, we should put the Queen. We should put the Queen of England this thing on this thing. So it demonstrates our inability to appreciate our own and to put value on our own. We prefer other people, you know, to...
I won't say that. There
you go. There you go. And you know, back in the day, our grandfathers used to, I mean, what today we call the Independence Day, our grandfathers used to march like that and sing songs like Rule Over Us, Great Britannia. They call it Empire Day. Rule over us, Great Britannia. You understand?
Vibrating on them to become bigger.
Exactly. So this is how images succeed in making people willing participants in their own suppression or exploitation.
If they will use black images, whether it is prison, it is beating, up till now, the slave trade thing that they used to go, they've not, that one, that one they will never do it.
Yeah.
But if it is cartoons, the black woman is in forest. This is not about bitterness.
No.
If we don't talk about this, we will find it difficult to liberate ourselves.
Precisely.
See? So please give us some of the pictures that you think we should try to promote that will help us
like,
as Africans.
If I mention things like angels, it is impossible for any Ghanaian or African to think of angels as having black skin. Angels don't come
They don't have our name.
No, they don't have our names, they don't have our skin color, they don't, and even when we see visions, a lot of our visions are all Caucasian. You know, and these are things that show how embedded the Caucasian image has taken root in our very psyche.
What can we do? What can we do?
We must have the courage. We must have the courage to disown all the things that do not belong to us. They don't, because if you, for example, if you go to Europe, you don't hear them playing high life, or I mean, rarely, unless probably there are
black people there.
Black people there, but on their own, you dare not.
But what are you saying? Even when an artist make a music here, and Leonardo played it, it's a news. If Maame Grace play it,
yeah, forget it.
So we ourselves nankasa ye helium.
Exactly.
Omo ye dia. Obi artist be ye ejuma wa ha. Oni obi ya ni ye heli na wa kona nim because oni foreigner be
exactly. And you know, we see this even with I remember very well there was a certain president's regime where most people thought Ghana had reached a certain level because that president was traveling all the time. He was seen in pictures with President Bush. He was seen in pictures with the Queen. He was seen in pictures. So they say, now Ghana has reached a very high level. You understand? The black man is, or the African is always excited when he gets the blessing.
Exactly.
And I remember very well, I had a mate in school called Eva Campbell. Eva Campbell was my mate in secondary school, and then at the university. She finished College of Art, and she held an exhibition. At the exhibition, her best friend, who is Canadian, everybody went to her to congratulate her. Meanwhile, she was not the artist.
Because of your Bruni.
Exactly. People thought she was the artist. You understand? And people thought that the kind of works on display are only like the expertise, the talent could only be coming from. Exactly. So we have a lot of work to do to decolonize, you know, that white image, that
Give us
Caucasian.
5 stretches.
We need to have confidence in ourselves.
That is one.
We need to have courage. It takes courage to call a spade a spade. It takes courage to see God on your terms. It takes a lot of courage that what we call God, we knew it here. And the God we knew did not have a child with anybody to produce a savior to save us. Other people had that idea. It is good for them. It is good for them. The God that, like Amegam, the name of my God is Atananyumo. Atananyumo in my culture does not have a son.
It's not a prostitute.
No.
Hey.
Did not impregnate any man's wife to produce a savior to save me. He did that for some people. It is good for them. They should keep it.
No problems.
No problem. But Atananyumo in here, or the Ashantis or the Akans will say Onyankopon. You understand? He did not have a child designed to save anybody from sin. Nothing. Other people have it. So we must have the courage to, to do away with all these things. They don't serve us. They do not serve us. They serve other people better. They do not serve us. In fact, they have destroyed and made us a very confused people. They have destroyed our culture. And Ghanaians or Africans are the people who argue most about the merits of their own culture. They don't have, their ancestors did some of the worst things in history. They never have ancestral curses. We call our ancestors, we even sing songs against our ancestors.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. You understand? And all these have been reinforced through the images, through the negative images that have been pushed down on us. So it all begins with pictures. When you see a picture, you should question it. You should interrogate it. Because these days, there are no meta-narratives. And one thing with images is that when you see an image, it tells you of what is possible. It tells you of what is possible. I remember when the Europeans started the formal training in art in Ghana, they insisted that we did representational art. That representational art was a means of perpetuating the status quo. You draw things as they are. You don't draw things as you want them to be. They discouraged the artistic creativity that went into many students drawing things or painting things as it could be. They wanted representational art, which preserved the status quo. Now, abstract art will take this reality and turn it around, change it, and take it to another level. So they were afraid that if we started representing our reality in the way we want, then a time will come where we will question the legitimacy of their being here. So that is one of the reasons why formal art education in the Gold Coast then discouraged abstract art. They wanted us to represent things as they are. And that is one way they policed, they micromanaged our visual consciousness and our way of thinking so that we will not be rebellious in our minds. We will think within the structure. You understand? We'll become very good citizens, very controlled, very disciplined, things like that.
Touch base with the youth.
Yeah.
And how they are using pictures, especially on social media.
Oh my God. When you watch social media, some of the images you see are just direct, like Hollywood stuff you know, and even in America, most of the people who have class are not involved in most of these things. It's one of the lowest kind of pop culture that our youth are hooked into, because there's a deliberate attempt to push all the junk in Africa. I mean, one of the greatest tools they have for our youth is images, in the audiovisual images. The audiovisual images of drugs, of sexualized music, sexualized, you know, things like that. Things that do not, you know, hold society together. Things that do not focus society together. But the images of like young people doing well in academia, young people doing well in politics, young people doing well in businesses and things like that are not pushed here. They are withheld. They are withheld. I mean, the same reason, you know, there was a time in American history that they were doing drugs. The government was importing drugs from Nicaragua and all these things and pumping to black communities just to, you know, make them hooked. It's the same thing. The same thing with images. So I always advise young people. In fact, if you come to my house, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. And sometimes my wife will say, oh, but let's watch you. I say, listen, 90% of things you see on TV is all propaganda.
Oh.
It's all propaganda. It's make-believe. It's make-believe, you know, it's make-believe. Designed to make you think in a particular way. They say, oh, then okay, then she put it on. After a while, I say, oh, there's nothing on it. I say, well. But you watch CNN, you watch all these media, they are all propaganda. It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda using audiovisual images, just to make you think in a particular way. And to make you think this is the fashion, this is the trend, this is what is trending, this is the in thing, this is how you should be living your life, these are the examples you should be following. And until you grow up and you wise up, you'll be hooked over there. So there's the element of capacity reduction, that we use these things to destroy the way you think, until after your age, then we drop you. That's what is happening.
You are watching the biggest and the largest. Your last advice for send message to from the head to the you'll be message from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet, from president to truck pusher. Things that each and every one of us should put in place concerning this picture issue.
Let us look for Ghanaian or African content. There are so many wonderful things that our people are doing. We don't give them prominence because the people doing these things do not have money to pay the media to showcase them. There are young talent doing like wonderful things. They are inventing things. We could have documentaries that promote these people. Young people are doing, they are into fashion, they are into art. My own son does, he builds machines. He builds he builds a helicopter, he built a scooter, he built from scratch metal, scrap metal. And there are many people like him who are doing wonderful things. We don't feature them because they are not MPP, they are not NDC.
Important.
They are not important, you understand? The media or the visual culture of this country is hooked around religion and politics. We don't feature science. We don't feature inventions. We hardly feature technology. We hardly feature these people. Our media is saturated with
fights, gossip.
You know, big men stealing our money, big men misbehaving, and we calling them honorable, big people doing things that hurt the country. This is what we put the spotlight on. We forget that there are individuals in their in their little corners doing amazing things. We don't feature them. Why? It has to change.
God have mercy on all of us. Now, baby, so the last advice you have for the public, then we are done.
Well, question every image you see, and know that any image that you are exposed to is asking you to do something. You must question what it is asking you to do. Images are not just mere pictures. They are not just mere pictures. No, nobody puts a mere picture out there. Nobody. All images are propaganda. They have an intention. They have they are requiring you to do something. Ask yourself, what is this image desiring me or wanting me to do? And then question it. Don't just swallow hook, line, and sinker any image you see. And images by nature are deceptive. Images by nature are deceptive. They are designed to make you, decide or choose a particular thing. All images are like that.
All images are like that, to use your willpower and your own decision to watch any image. We've seen a lot of these things. People marry from abroad because of picture. They come back. Hey, are you the one? Oh yeah, run. When you want to buy something or want to rent something, the pictures they will send to you, if you don't go there to watch it and you pay, you are doomed. The online stuff, people buy things every day and they bring them racks because of images. So what you are saying is very, 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 very important.
Images are often equated to the truth.
Yes. And penny for Asher pictures, who Jesus, no muhuno. Said the what picture no so me work where you say nyamia na me di agro African force wo bua kra ye lawyer.
There you go.
You be sum. Hey, Papa, thank you so much for coming. And so how are you going to take this to educational system, our educational system? We need it there.
We need to look at the books that the children read and the images we have put in those books.
Behind and inside.
Behind and inside. We need to do that because most children cannot understand the things they read. They watch the pictures. They watch the illustrations. They watch. This
is serious, oh.
Yeah.
And what the important messages, no?
Yeah.
Then they make it in cartoons.
Exactly.
And our children don't want to watch cartoons.
Yeah.
Hey, this is serious.
Yeah. Images rule the world.
Images rule the world.
Images rule the world.
It's very true.
Yeah, because
social media, nobody is sitting there. It's images.
Images. All of us think in pictures. All of us think in pictures. And pictures affect our choices and decisions.
Ruling the world.
Yeah.
Nobody is sitting there. It's images.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a serious topic.
Even if you read, whatever you read in the textbook, as you read, you understand it because of your imagination. Your imagination is is made up of the images that you have been exposed to. You imagine yourself there, you imagine what you are, you imagine the meaning of what you are reading. It's all images.
Spiritual Israelites. Papa, thank you for coming.
Most welcome.
We do appreciate you.
My pleasure.
We appreciate. So the art, the paintings, do you have a school for that?
I don't have a school, but
why?
I have young artists I mentor. They come to me, and then I mentor them.
I will come. Do you take it?
No. I can take you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please have a school and write these things down. The poem. Okay. I'm waiting for when you will do the book. I will personally
I'll be doing the book soon.
Please do so.
I'll invite you.
I beg you. Please do so. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Most
we appreciate you. We love you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for watching The Biggest. We keep moving. We keep moving. Abusia, pictures now de to body dem for papa. Eno maame wo nana. Ebi mo kra ni omo fe generation kra nipa ni photo. E wo ho ane ba behwe. Me maame adi Jesus abone dem wo me se me ka bibia me maame nti. O se se wi yi amewu. Nti photo ni tare ni mpa no ho ba we. Asembe nie. Me say me am to aduane ma di dem ya fa me picture mo mpa ho.
There you go.